is it that are bringing nonsense into your life? Who is it that you are letting behave a certain way around you? Something deep, something spiritually, and you need someone who are filled with that kind of wisdom, speaking life into your purpose, speaking life into your destiny, speaking life into your marriage. Welcome back to the journey of a believer. And if you know who I am, then good for you. If you don't know who I am, then my name is Esther Ndira, and I am excited that you chose to watch this video because I have so much to share. I have so much to talk. I just got to let it out. And I am excited. If this is your first time here, I welcome you, and remember to subscribe. And if you already are part of the family, hello fam. I hope that you are good. I hope that you are great. If you haven't watched my last video, I want you to stop watching this video and go watch that video and then come back to this, because this video here is just like continuing from where I left from the last video. Now what I will be talking about today is who is in your circle. Who is it that you are letting in? Who is it that are in your inner circle? I first got saved, I didn't really know or understand how important it is for you to have the right people in your circle. I didn't understand how important it is for you to have those prayer warrior friends who will always have your back. I didn't understand that I needed people that would push me toward my destiny, toward my purpose. I thought that as long as I had God, I was good. As long as I had God, I could be friends with whoever I wanted to be friends with. And the closer I got to God, I came to understand that kind of mindset that I had was wrong. Yes, it's good that I have God in my life, but it's also important for me to have the right people in my life, because I can be having God in my life but still be hanging with people who brings nonsense into my life. And so who is it that who is it that are bringing nonsense into your life? Who is it that you are letting behave a certain way around you? Who is it that you are letting in your circle? I want you to ask yourself, do I have the right people in my life? I want you to ask yourself, am I with the people that God wants me to be with? And if you watch the last video, you will understand that how important it was for me to let go of those people that could no longer be part of my life. And you will also understand, and I hope that video made you understand that how important it is also for you to let go of people that are not supposed to be a part of your journey with Jesus. Because I fully believe that when the closer you get to God, there are someone who have to go so that those people who are meant to be a part of your life will get their place in your life. It's also important for you to have the Holy Spirit in you so that you will be able to have the right people in your circle. I didn't understand it then, but I understand it now, because then I didn't really care about who was in my circle, as long as I had fun with them, as long as they made me laugh, and as long as I just had friends, I was okay. But we need to throw away that kind of mindset, because we need people in our life who will draw us closer to God. We need people in our life who will draw us closer to our purpose. We cannot always be hanging around with people who bring nonsense into our life. We need people who will bring life into our purpose. We need people who will speak into our destiny, into our purpose, into our life. We need people who will encourage us. We need people who will make us become better person. We need people who will also make us realize that the people that we are with are people that we are not supposed to be with. And that's why I want to read from the book of Proverbs because I love that book. I love the book of Proverbs. It is so real. Not that the whole Bible is not real, because the whole Bible is real, but for me the book of Proverbs just hits me differently than some other books. When I read the book of Proverbs, I felt like I was watching myself in the mirror. I was basically the book of Proverbs was telling me about how my past was. The book of Proverbs was telling me about how I should be now in this season that I am in. And the book of Proverbs was telling me about those nonsense people that I had to let go of. And the book of Proverbs was also telling me how my future will look like when I obey God, when I have the right people in my life. So Proverbs chapter 13 verse 20, it says, walk with the wise and become wise, associate with fools and get in trouble. Now what really hit me about this verse is the last one, associate with fools and get in trouble. It took me back to the past where I used to be with people who I wasn't really supposed to be with. You know those people who you would like, you see them and the only thing you see is trouble, but you want to be with them because they're fun. Yes, those kind of nonsense. That was me. I was with those kinds of people who would just, we will be doing all kinds of nonsense stuff. Have you guys ever met somebody and then you became friends with that somebody, but then you started to behave a certain way? Like when you are with yourself, you're like, well, this is not really me. I don't really behave like this. Why am I behaving like this? Why am I suddenly starting to have this kind of mindset? Why am I suddenly starting to behave so weird? Why am I suddenly starting to curse? That is so not me. You have those people who will make you become someone who you are not, especially when you are still a baby believer, especially when you don't have that strong relationship with God yet. That was me. At that time, I didn't have a strong relationship with God. Even though I was saved, I believed in God, my relationship with Him was not that strong, and it was also because of the people that was around me, the people that surrounded me. I didn't have a prayer warrior friend at that time. I didn't have a friend who I could pray with, a friend who I could fast with, a friend who I could talk about the thing that I was going through, and that person would help me because that friend was filled with so much wisdom, so much knowledge, so much understanding. I didn't have that at that time, and I thought it's okay. It's okay. I can just continue to be on with those people. I can just continue to be friends with people who are not bringing life into my purpose. Book of Proverbs, if you haven't read it, please read that book. It's an eye-opener. Read it. The book of Proverbs messed me up, really. I was in my feelings I was in my feelings when I read that book because it was so real. Like it really hit me, like no filter, guys. It really hit me. And even about the thing that I am going through today, and it really hit me because we all have friends that we know that are not supposed to be in that inner circle. You have to look around you. If the only people that surround you are the people that you only drink with, you only party with, the people that be asking when is your next date, or oh he fun, what do you think about him, or that kind of people. If that is the only people that you have, you need to start taking another direction. You need friends who will be honest with you and say, that man that you were talking with, you know that he's not from God. So why are you continuing to talk with him? That woman that you are running after, you know that woman is not from God. So why are you running after that woman? You also need friends who will stop you. Like, we know when you want to go out and you want to dance and they'll be like, what are you doing? Since when did we start going out clubbing? You need friends who will say we and not you. Since when did we start going out clubbing? Since when did we start drinking? That's not us. And listen, you need friends. You need friends who will pray with you and for you. For you to get where you're supposed to be, you need to be with a certain people. There are some people who God appointed to be in your life for you to fully be the person that He created you to be, and you need those people. You being around with people who brings nothing but nonsense into your life will not get you to where God wants you to be. Those people will not push you toward your purpose. I want you to ask yourself, do I have someone in my circle who are filled with so much wisdom, knowledge, and understanding? Do you have that person? Do you have it? If you don't have it, it's time for you to pray to God to bring that person into your life. Because when my relationship with God became stronger, that's when the right people started to come into my life. They were not strangers. They were people that I knew from before. But because I was being with people who brought nothing but nonsense into my life, they could not be there with me. God could not bring them into my life until I started to let those people go. And when I let those go, that's when the right people could come into my life. You need a prayer warrior friend. I like that word. Where did I get that from? Did I make it by myself? Did I? I don't know. But I like that word, a prayer warrior friend. A friend that got you back. A friend that got you back. You know, when you need somebody to pray for you 4 a.m. in the morning, you will call that friend, and that friend will be like, okay, let's pray, and then you guys will start praying together. When you need to fast, you will call that friend and you say, okay, let's fast together, and you will fast together. When you are going through something deep, something spiritually, and you need someone who are filled with that kind of wisdom, you will go to that prayer warrior friend of yours, and that friend will tell you exactly what you need to get through what you are going through. God is cool, guys. And I believe that we all have that. We all have a prayer warrior friend. We just need to pray to God for Him to bring that person into our life. And it might be more than one. It might be 2. It might be 3. I don't know. But I know that we all have at least one prayer friend. For me to fully live in my calling, for me to reach my purpose, I need some people into my life. There are people that needs to be in my life to push me to speak life into my purpose, for me to become the woman that God created me to be. So who is it that you have in your life who are doing that? Who is it that you have in your life that are prophesying over you? Speaking life into your existence, speaking life into your blessings, speaking life into your purpose, speaking life into your destiny, speaking life into your marriage. Who are those people? Looking back, when I was going through something, I didn't have people that I could go and talk to. I didn't have a prayer warrior friend that I could just express myself and just tell that person what I am going through. Being friend with only worldly people, that's not enough. It won't get you nowhere. It won't get you nowhere. You need you some real spiritually friend who will just look at you and say, you don't pray like you used to pray. You don't go to church anymore. What's that? You don't fast the way that you used to fast. You don't call me anymore like you used to before. Because when you called me, we used to pray. You don't call me anymore so that we can pray. Why is that? What has changed? What is it that has changed? You need friends like that who will check on you. You need friends like that who have their eyes on you. So I want you to ask yourself, do I have those people in my circle? Or do I have people who are just full of nonsense? Or do I have people that I only party with? Or do I have people that I get drunk with? Or do I have people that I only gossip with? As a believer, in this journey that we are in, you can't be having those people. I am telling you this because I have been there when I was only friends with worldly people. I have been there where I was friends who the only thing that was on their mind was party, drinking, and doing all kinds of nonsense and having all kinds of nonsense behavior. I have been there, so I know how important it is for a believer to have spiritually friends who will lead you into the right path, into the right way. When my relationship with God started to grow stronger, I realized that when I was with my worldly friends, I started to be uncomfortable about the things that they were talking about. I started to be uncomfortable about their behavior. I started to be uncomfortable about their mindset because those were the only friends that I have at that time. I didn't have any spiritually friends. But when I finally obeyed God, that's when God just brought the right people into my circle.